Hello and welcome back to another Soundspot tutorial. We're going to look at Kinetik today and use it as a mastering compressor. This compressor can be used on individual channels, on bus channels, but the same principle applies, which is the STANDERWICK processing chain, which is compression, EQ and distortion. So as a quick overview, we can look at the different modes. So we have a digital mode here on the reduction and on the drive. They are the same here. So we have a digital mode here, a analog mode, and a transient preservation mode, and that is the same over here, but it's just set to by default to the analog mode on the distortion. And here on the EQ we have 4 bands to work with. Right, let's play this track and see what we can do to it using Kinetik. So as you can hear, this is a very low-end track. There's a lot of low detail in there, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to push the input volume up here so we can see on the left hand that we have our green section lighting up. We don't want to go too high because then we'll get clipping, so let's just get it going into the green, which is about fine there. So you can see it's nice and evenly balanced, and now we're going to enhance some of the features. So I'm going to use the transient preservation mode here, and I'm going to drive the reduction to quite heavy so you can hear exactly what's happening. At the moment we're squashing those transients and destroying them, and if you click here you can see the reduction that we are applying. So you can switch between the transient and the reduction mode here. So I'm going to aim for -3 for now, which is about there. Then on the bass we're going to just kind of soften this up a little bit. So as you can see, we've just added reduction there, and you can hear the effects of Kinetik already happening. We haven't applied any EQ yet, but what we're going to do is add the EQ and then we'll add the drive in there as well. Right, so we're going to play the track. We're going to focus the Q so we get more power out of the kick drum at the lower end. We're going to keep it at 30 Hz because we don't want to affect anything lower than that, and we just want to increase just the drive a little bit on there. So we're going to increase the gain and we're going to move the Q factor around. So I'm just going to give it around 2 dB boost there. So you can hear around here is where the punch happens. Okay, we'll bypass this just to see what effect it's had on it. Hear how much warmth it's adding into the bottom end. Okay, so that is the kick drum there, that is sorted. Now we're going to focus on kind of the bassy area. So we're going to focus around 50 to 60 Hz or something like that. So we'll drag this around till we get somewhere quite nice there. See, this one is now a bell curve here as well, but you can change this. You can just cycle through by clicking. We're going to keep it on bell curve, and that's sounding about right there. So let's just have a listen with it on and off. So you can hear that it's increasing that bass area a little bit, but it's not just turning the volume up, it's actually just bringing out some of the details by just using some gentle EQ in conjunction with this compression. So we're going to turn off this band here, because I'm not going to use this band, and then we're going to use this very last band here. So I'm going to go for the probably 7 to 9K area, so depending on what track you're mixing. This one is going to be around that area, I'm thinking. So let's just increase the gain a little bit so you can hear what's going on. And let's just shape our cue here. So I'm going to keep it as this setting here. It's sounding good about there. So we're just listening to the crispy end of the song now, and we've got a little bit more definition in those hats. And it's also adding some definition to that synth line as well. But you can see we're not going too drastic because we're going to use this in a mastering capacity. We don't want to go too hard on the compression. We can dial this back at the end. We've just gone for 3 dB so you can hear the effects of everything that's happening, and then we can dial it back. And finally, we're going to hit the drive, and I'm going to put it probably about 10% or something like that, and we're going to keep it on the analog mode, and then we'll just cycle through some of the other modes. Yeah, definitely around 10. Okay, so I'm going to cycle through these, so every bar will change it. So there's not much difference, it's very subtle, and it is all dependent on what you're trying to do, but we want to go for that nice analog output because this is a very analog sounding track. We're using transient preservation mode over here, and that is because we want to keep kind of all the dynamics of the song, but we don't want to destroy them with using, say, the analog feature. It starts to destroy the track, and it's not ideal for that situation, so we're just using that so we can preserve those transients. So we're going to dial the reduction back till we've got a nice balance. So that's practically off with just the EQ and distortion. Let's just bring out that detail. So that's what we started with. So it's easy to say that the volume increase is adding to the track and it's making it sound different, and that can be very true, so that's why we have these mute buttons here. So we can mute each band and see exactly what happened on each band. So that is with no processing whatsoever. And then we added, where are we? The low band here. And that is our STANDERWICK inspired Kinetik plugin combining compression, EQ and drive. Of course you can buy Kinetik at our website, the link is at the top of the description to take you to the product page. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.